Intermittent fasting is a way of eating that can help you to lose weight, reduce inflammation, and increase energy. Now, of course, during your fasting window, anything you eat is going to break your fast, but what about drinks? It's important to stay hydrated during your fast, so you need to be drinking something. But you don't want to break your fast, or else you're going to be taking away from the benefits. So let's talk about drinks you can have during your fasting window that can help to optimize your fast and reach your goals. Number 1 is water. Of course, we had to talk about the most obvious one first. Water will not break your fast, and you should be drinking it during your fasting window. This includes both still and sparkling water. Even better if you can add a pinch of salt for added electrolytes, or use a clean electrolyte supplement such as sodium. Number 2, black coffee. Both caffeinated and decaffeinated can be consumed. Just make sure if you are drinking coffee that you're mindful of the fact that it does dehydrate you, so hydrating with water and electrolytes is extra important. Number 3, apple cider vinegar. A lot of people find that drinking apple cider vinegar in a glass of water helps to suppress cravings. Apple cider vinegar has next to no calories, so it won't break your fast, and it doesn't stimulate insulin, so it's good if your goals are weight loss or autophagy. I actually have a whole video on apple cider vinegar and how it's beneficial for insulin resistance and weight loss, which I'll link above, because it is beneficial to use even when you're not fasting. Number 4, unsweetened tea. Same as with black coffee, unsweetened tea has no calories and no sugar or carbohydrates, so it can be good to include if you choose. Again, if you are having a caffeinated tea, just remember to hydrate properly. Number 5, exogenous ketones. This one I'm asked a lot about, and it's a really interesting one. Ketones are a byproduct of fat metabolism. When we restrict carbohydrates in our diet, our body switches from burning carbohydrates or glucose for energy and uses ketones instead. And a lot of the benefits of intermittent fasting actually come from ketones. They increase energy, improve focus, increase athletic endurance, and can support weight loss. Exogenous ketones are ketones that our body doesn't create. We ingest them. But they come with the same benefits as those created within our body. In addition, they can also make fasting a lot easier, especially in the beginning. One of the reasons is that they suppress ghrelin, the hormone responsible for hunger. And this can be super helpful, especially when intermittent fasting, because our bodies can release ghrelin even when we're not actually hungry. Ghrelin is released based on the times we usually eat. So if you're just beginning an intermittent fasting routine and let's say you're trying to push your first meal back a couple of hours, taking ketones in the morning can actually help you to suppress that hunger and push through. All of this is to say that no, exogenous ketones do not break a fast. Now, the best ketones to use are ones that come in the form of ketone diol. You consume them in liquid form, and they give you the most consistent ketone levels for a longer period of time than other forms of ketones do. I love the ketones from HVMN. I have been using these ones since the end of last year. I use them when I'm intermittent fasting, when I really need to focus, and for endurance workouts. If you want to check them out, you can head to hvmn.com/Kait. That's Kait. And when you shop through this link, you're gonna save 30% off your first subscription order. You can pause or cancel at any time, so don't worry about being locked in. And they also have a 60-day money-back guarantee, so there really isn't any reason to not give them a try. Especially if you're just starting out with intermittent fasting, I cannot emphasize how much easier these make things. And if weight loss is your goal and you're not quite sure if ketones are the right fit for you, I actually did a full video talking about this a couple of weeks ago, so I'll link that above if you want to know more. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to go over a few gray area drinks that may or may not break a fast. The first one is diet soda. A lot of people swear by drinking diet soda when they're fasting. It has basically no calories, no sugar, and no carbohydrates. So in theory, it shouldn't break a fast. However, sometimes just a sweet taste alone in our mouths is enough to stimulate the release of insulin. Our bodies anticipate that sugar and carbohydrates is coming, so they release it. And this can cause your blood sugar to drop lower than baseline because the insulin was released, but there's no excess sugar for it to deal with. And this drop in blood sugar can lead to hunger and additional cravings, which of course make it harder to fast. The other part to this is If insulin's released, this actually slows down autophagy, which again is where a lot of the benefits of fasting come from. And then there's the whole discussion about artificial sweeteners. These have been shown in some studies to cause damage to the gut. Now, like I said, some people drink diet soda during a fast, it works for them. Personally, I don't suggest it if you can fast without it, but like I said, it's a bit of a gray area. Number 2 is bone broth. Now, so far we haven't really talked about any drinks that contain protein. Bone broth is absolutely rich in protein, of course. Technically, consuming protein during your fasting window will break a fast, but a lot of people do bone broth fasts and see a lot of benefits. In terms of autophagy, it will break your fast, so if that is your main goal, it's better to avoid. But if weight loss is your goal and bone broth helps you to push through, then go for it. And the final one we're going to talk about is Bulletproof coffee. Now, Bulletproof coffee is coffee with added fat. Usually it's butter, coconut oil, or MCT oil. And these fatty foods actually help to increase ketone production. They do contain calories though, so they technically break a fast, but if you consume them during your fasting window and they help you to fast longer, I think the positives outweigh the negatives. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you drink during your fasting window in the comment section down below. And before you go, remember to check out HVMN's ketones. I'll put the link to save 30% in the description box down below.